Welcome back. This is John Locke, and I'm revisiting this story. I made a video a few weeks ago about a curious tweet that I saw from this gentleman. I hope I'm not butchering his name, but his name is Eoghan Henn, a freelance technical marketer and SEO, co-founder of Search VIU, a website migration SEO tool provider. And he teaches digital marketing at the University of Santiago in Spain. And he has been a consultant for digital marketing agencies in Germany and Belgium. And a very smart guy, very accomplished SEO. So a few weeks ago, he was talking about a situation where he had a site where, because of internal decisions, there is an e-commerce site, and they removed informational pages, informational blog posts and articles. And as a result, the rankings and the traffic went down. So we're going to revisit that because, as it turns out, they put it back temporarily and the rankings went up. But we're going to examine why that might have happened through his article that he wrote for Search Engine Land. In this case study, the true value of informational content for e-commerce SEO. Okay, so he starts by saying, proving any of this, how does informational content actually help you rank for commercial keywords? Meaning, how do blog posts or articles help you rank for e-commerce pages, sales pages where you're trying to sell stuff? Okay, the popular wisdom says that they're link-worthy assets. These informational pages get links from outside sources, from outside websites, and that page rank, that link equity flows through to those informational pages, and then you'd internally link to your e-commerce product pages, and that would help. Okay, so this is what this case study is about. Okay, so the background, the SEO strategy and performance. And by the way, in this too, he changes the site. There will be a screenshot of something later where it's about sunglasses. The site itself was not about sunglasses, and the site was not English language, though this is shown as an English language screenshot. So just to clarify that, all the names have been changed. So, but anyway, an e-commerce site. The site was first launched in 2011, but the current SEO strategy was implemented in 2017. So, about 2.5 years ago or so. And it consisted of the following activities. On the technical SEO side, they wanted to make the website's content, which was 60,000 product pages and 80 category pages, crawlable and indexable for search engines. So meaning all the pages on the site that were product pages should be in the Google index and have the ability to be ranked. We did a video about this. If the pages are not able to be crawled, they don't go into the index, and the index is a collection of all pages that can be shown in search results. So if it's not in the index or it hasn't been crawled, it basically doesn't exist in Google yet. That's a good way to explain the index. Okay. And then heavy focusing on improving the page speed for the users and search engine crawlers. So a lot of people have a theory about how much time Googlebot spends on a site, and they call it crawl budget basically, but a lot of people have a theory about this. But for users, it's been proven. Amazon and all these other e-commerce sites, they try and make their sites faster, ruthlessly faster all the time for a reason. But making it faster for things like Googlebot and Bingbot that index these pages also means that more pages will get indexed. And especially when you're dealing with 60,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 pages, that can be important. Okay, so on the content side, they were going to reorganize the existing informational content pages and add new ones. And then they were going to add contextual internal links from informational content to category pages, meaning using the context that was in the informational pages, they're going to build a link from the informational article over to the product page. Because remember, the pages on your site also pass PageRank. They also pass link equity. It's not just external sites that are not yours. The pages on your site can also pass link equity to each other. Okay. So it goes on to say, active link building never played a role in this website's SEO efforts. The links that are there were either byproducts of other marketing activities or partnerships, or were generated naturally by people that voluntarily linked to the website's content, meaning they found an article that was useful and they linked to it because they wanted to. Okay, so this approach yielded great results for the business over the past 2.5 years. Since the implementation of the new SEO strategy, the domain's visibility in the Google search engine results pages, SERPs, as calculated by this tool, Systrix, has grown significantly. The growth was only interrupted by a major setback caused by the so-called Medic update in the summer of 2018. I want to say that was August 2018 or July or something like that. I don't know. But it recovered during the March 2019 core update. So you can see right here, it kind of chugged along. It was way down here. This is when they came on board. They started doing stuff, right? Went up, up, up. Then this update hit. This is the one that they talk about, like your money or your life sites and the Medic update. Then it went down, but it recovered during the March update. Okay? And then it just, this point up here, basically it's up to this point, this peak point. That's basically where it was at. Okay. The growth in visibility has translated into an increase in sales generated by organic search from, so it started at about 359K euros in 2016. So 359,000 euros the year before the SEO strategy was implemented. And in 2019, it was almost €1 million. It was 914,000 euros in 2019. So that's what I'm almost 3 times, not quite 3 times, but almost like 3x growth. So revenue via organic search started down here. 2017 went up, 18 it was up, 19 it was up, just going up and up every year. Not bad, right? Okay, so the revenue numbers for organic search traffic were tracked with Google Analytics and calculated with the help of a custom attribution model that does not only take into account the last interaction before the sale, what we usually refer to as last click attribution, but also factors in all previously tracked interactions of a user with the website. So, meaning that all the previous interactions with the website get a little bit of the credit for the final sale. So using this same attribution method, they could also show the contributions of the different page types as landing pages to the overall revenue generated through organic search. In 2019, the informational content pages only attracted the traffic worth 2.36% of the overall SEO revenue. So it's not very much. So the attribution, the informational content pages here, is like the 4th biggest. Like the home page is most, category pages, product pages, informational content pages. Okay, according to this, only directly contributed in the way that they're tracking the attribution. That traffic only attracted 2.36% of the overall SEO revenue, but most of the people were coming in either on the homepage, category, or product pages. Okay, following so far. The product pages and the category pages and the homepage still getting most of the traffic as far as like the attribution of the actual sales. Okay. But the one area in which informational content pages have shown a very good performance is the natural acquisition of backlinks. Because, yeah, people are going to link to an informational article rather than a product page. That's most of the time. Out of the 10 pages on the website that have the highest number of links from other domains, 5 of those are informational content pages, 4 are category pages, and 1 is the home page. So half of the top 10 pages earning backlinks from external domains were these article or informational pages. So looking at the available information, it's hard to tell which role the informational content pages really play for the great overall SEO performance of the shop. Their direct contribution to sales is small, but they have a decent share of the website's backlinks pointing toward them. So do those backlinks really help the commercial shop pages rank better and generate more sales through organic search traffic? As we're going to see, the answer to this is a little bit more complicated than that. So here's where the bomb gets dropped: removing all informational content pages. So in late 2019, a drastic business decision brought about some major changes for the company. Despite the great performance over the past few years, the shop is a relatively small player within a bigger organization. The company belongs to a bigger corporation which also owns a big direct competitor of the shop. Okay? So it's part of a larger corporation, and that corporation also owns a direct competitor to this shop. So in order to cut internal costs, it was decided to move the entire handling of the online shop over to the big direct competitor. Now, if you're a corporation, I guess that makes sense, right? Before I go any further with this, I just want to say this. There's a subtext here, and that is a lot of people talk about acquired companies or companies that, or culture within a company coming from the bottom up. As you will see, decisions are always top down, and culture always comes from the bigger company. The company that acquires a smaller company, we talk about the culture being changed by the acquired company is going to change the acquiring company. It almost never happens. In fact, I would say I've never seen it happen. You can look back at Media Temple being acquired by GoDaddy. There's a lot of things that didn't change. You could look at, GitHub being acquired by Microsoft, all these things. There's lots of things, even within technology. The company that holds the power and does the acquiring, that's where the culture is always, and the decision making is always going to come from. Hate to break it to you, that's how the world works. Okay, moving on. So the new owners are planning to replace the entire shop with their own systems, and they only want to keep the domain name and the logo of the current shop. They've made it very clear that they're not planning to use any of the informational content that's been built up over the past few years. Because of this, the company that is still in control of the shop decided to remove the content and save it for other projects that they might work on in the future. So roughly 25 informational content pages were removed, and the URLs were 301 redirected to the shop's homepage. Now, these redirects were not implemented in the hopes that rankings would be transferred to the homepage. So they weren't thinking that all the things that they were ranking for before, that the homepage was still going to rank for them. They were only trying to transfer the link equity and the page rank. They were not thinking that the homepage is going to rank for all these informational searches. Okay, they did not think that. They were just trying to transfer the link equity and the page rank and the outside hyperlinking power to the homepage. Okay. In a hopeless situation, setting up redirects instead of 404, meaning page not found, or 410 status codes, 410 means page is gone forever, was just a spontaneous decision without any specific motivation, and no other changes were made to the shop in the weeks before and after the informational content was removed. Okay, so no other changes were made except we removed these informational pages, these blog pages or whatever they were removed in 301 to the home page. Now, what do you think happened next? Think about this. What do you think happened? Can you make a prediction? Impact on the website's rankings. For the first few days after the informational content pages were removed, Google seemed to be quite forgiving, and some of the URLs of the removed pages kept ranking, although they were redirecting all traffic to the shop's homepage, and that's they were still in the index even though the pages were no longer there, meaning Google had not recrawled them. And this is the conclusion that he came to too. Took a while for Google to detect and process all changes, but once that happened, uh-oh. Can you tell where they made changes? Okay, this is where they removed the pages. Eee! Boom. Fell off a cliff, didn't it? Weird. Please note that the daily visibility curve in the above screenshot might not represent the drop with complete accuracy. Systrix calculates the visibility daily. It seems they do not scrape the search engine results pages for every single one of the millions of keywords in their database every day, so ranking changes might only have an impact on the daily visibility graph a few days after they occur. So interestingly, the overall visibility of the domain also took a serious blow, with losses far bigger than just the visibility of the removed directory. Okay, so it sounds like it was a subdirectory, where like a blog subdirectory. Okay. Okay, so within 3 weeks after the removal of the informational content pages, the shop had lost almost 1/3 of its overall visibility in organic search, although the removed content previously only made up roughly 1% of the domain's visibility, but they lost 1/3 of the overall visibility. And again, this is where they removed the pages. That's the visibility. It's a big change. Not for the better. So, okay, and this is where I'm talking about here. He changed what this was. This was not about sunglasses, and it wasn't English language. He changed all this to protect the names of what was going on, protect the privacy here. Okay, the homepage and several category pages have lost lots of their page 1 rankings for commercial intent search queries with high search volumes. The following screenshot was from the Systrix Ranking Changes report, shows an extract of the most important rankings that were lost after the informational content pages were removed. So, and again, they weren't selling sunglasses, but we'll just pretend that they were, right? Sunglasses, they were ranking number 2. They fell to number 11. Buy sunglasses, they went from number 1 to number 6. Sunglasses cheap went from 7 to 13. Kids sunglasses went from 9 to 30. Wow. Sunglasses online went from 4 to 10. Sunglasses discount went from 7 to 17. Buy cheap sunglasses went from 7 to 13. On and on, right? Please note, and he says right here, they didn't sell sunglasses. Language was not English. All right. The ranking drops and visibility losses of the homepage and category pages directly linked to the removal of the informational content pages? And if so, how and why? So here's his reasoning. Possible reasons for the ranking drop. The most convincing theory for why the rankings of the homepage and category pages dropped after these informational content pages were removed is related to links. Now the links, remember, are still redirecting to the homepage. But as mentioned above, the informational content pages had a fair amount of links from other domains, but within the content of these blog articles or whatever, there were also contextual links pointing back to the homepage and category pages, but now we don't have those. Those internal links are gone too. They're gone. Those internal links are now gone. These are supposed to pass on the relevance of the backlinks pointing at the informational content pages. So, third-party site pointing at the informational page, and those pointed at the homepage. Now it's like a 301 redirect from this third-party site to the homepage, but the context is gone, both from this to here, and then also in where it's linking to the informational page. That context is gone. Okay. after the removal of these, the backlinks pointing to those informational pages lost all of their relevance, and the internal links pointing from the informational content pages to other pages on the domain were also completely lost, what we just said. Okay, but here's some other factors that might play a role, and there's also some unknowns that should be addressed, because again, we don't know exactly what's in Google's algorithm day to day, but this is why we have to do this. We have to kind of see these things and try and figure out hypotheses. All right. The URLs of the informational content pages were redirected to the home page, so the relevance was probably lost at the redirect targets, as the content is completely different from the originally linked pages, and Google officials have confirmed that redirects to less relevant pages can sometimes be treated as so-called soft 404s. Now, a hard 404 means the page is no longer there. But if it was originally intended to link to this other page that had context of this other link, and it was talking about, such and such thing, but that page is no longer there and it's 301 redirected to the home page, that can be a soft 404. We have a whole video on soft 404s. You can check that out too. All right. The question arises whether this situation would have played out differently if the URLs of the informational content pages had given back a 404, which is page not found, or 410, which is page gone, status code instead of redirecting. Would these type of backlinks lose less relevance than a soft 404 caused by a redirect to a non-matching target? It probably wouldn't make a difference if the pages gave back a 404 or 410 instead of redirecting to the home page. And the only way to save some of the relevance would have been to redirect each removed URL to a similar piece of content, which was not an option because, again, this decision came from the top. Now, he goes on to say, it might also be tempting to connect this case to theories about the topical relevance of the entire domain of the recent SEO buzzword EAT, which is expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. We have videos on that too. Now, one might argue that informational content has a value in itself that goes beyond backlinks and internal links, passing on relevance to commercial pages. While these ideas should not be discarded entirely, they're quite vague and even more difficult to prove. That's something we talked about too. The EAT, the expertise, authority, and trustworthiness, is something that everybody has a theory on, but no one can say with absolute certainty how these things are measured, I should say. Not whether you have expertise or authority, but how does Google measure it across billions of websites? That's really what the question should always be. How would Google measure the expertise and authority and trustworthiness of a website in any given category when we're dealing with hundreds of millions of sites? Okay. All right, there are other external factors that might have had an impact on the website's rankings. The rankings changes that happened after the informational content pages were removed might be coincidental, not directly related to the removal of content, though I would disagree with that. It's always difficult to completely exclude the possibility of Google algorithm changes or updates coinciding with that, right? But let's look at some other stuff. Oh, what happened after we put the content back? After about 3 weeks of removing the informational content pages, the company that was still in control, for now, of the website decided to put the entire content back temporarily. This decision was made for the sake of SEO science and in order to test if the ranking loss was indeed related to the removal of the informational pages. They wanted to hand over the site in the best possible state, even if the new owners had not changed their mind about using the informational content on the new website. So here's a screenshot from Systrix showing what happened after they put the informational pages back. So here's where it was removed, here's where it dropped, and it went down from like here to here. Then they put them back. Guess what? Fully recovered. Interesting, huh? 3 weeks after putting all the informational content pages back in place, the overall visibility of the website is fully recovered and gone back to the level it had before those informational content pages were removed. The homepage and category pages regained most of the top rankings for commercial intent queries that they had before the removal of the content, except for some slight changes that are within the usual range of fluctuation you'd expect over 6 weeks. The main takeaway is the data strongly suggests that informational content pages do indeed help the homepage and category pages of an e-commerce site rank better for queries with commercial intent. Now, the exact distribution and breakdown of the ranking factors remains unclear, but it seems likely that links from other domains pointing to the informational pages, together with internal links pointing from the informational pages to the commercial product pages, played a major role in the SEO performance of the commercial pages. So like I said, this is a site with 60,000 product pages, 80 category pages, and only 25 informational content pages. Once these 25 pages were removed and redirected to the homepage, big drop happened. They put them back, and it was a full recovery. And it's not like all the traffic came from these, but it obviously, I think in a lot of people's mind, the proof is there that it changed how Google saw this site overall. So maybe this is something that Google was looking for websites within this particular category of e-commerce. Maybe one of the things that they seek is informational resources and resource pages or blog articles that educate customers and consumers. Maybe that's one of the signs of quality or one of the signs that they're looking for in order to rank that. Now, it is pretty probable that the linking structure, the way that it was set up with the third-party sites linking to the informational resource, blog articles, whatever, and then internal links from those pages to the product pages probably had a big thing to do with that as well. But they didn't have a ton of backlinks, but they had enough. They had the right type of backlinks. And again, it looked natural because it was natural. And Google said, yes, this is what we want to see. I would love to know what you think about this. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here every single day making videos at this web address here, youtube.com/c/JohnLockeSEO. You can also search hashtag Lockdown SEO. Here every single day. All right. That's it for now. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. And until next time, peace.